Alright, welcome to week 3. We're cutting this week. And I gotta get my cheat sheet, just a second. Sorry. Okay, so I need to cut of the block of the color A. I lied when I told you you only needed one set of each. You actually need 2 sets of the one that is 2.5, 5.5, 2.5. And also this one, which is 3.5, 1.5, 3.5, 1.5, 3.5. So you need 2 sets of that because you need to be able to get 18 1.5 inch strips. So I've got 12 already. 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, and 9. That should give me 6 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it gives me 18 of those. Now the other pieces, let's go and do this strip set. We need 9 of these. Okay? So you could put these strips together, but I find that you don't get as good accuracy if you put them together, so whatever. You can do whatever you like. You can stick them together and cut them all at one time. But you need 9 at 3.5 inches. So here's a cleanup edge, 3.5, then 7, then 10.5. Okay, here's 1, 2, 3. The cleanup cut, 3.5 and 7, 4, 5. Get another one of these. And just keep cutting until you get 9. And I'm lining up my black line here, any black line along the seam line underneath, so that I'm making sure that it's straight. I'm going to do a cleanup cut, and I'm going to go 3.5, 7, 10.5. Now that should give me 6. Wait, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have enough. 1, 2. There it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you definitely should be able to get 9 out of each one of these. I got scared there for a second. Okay, so I'm going to make this straight and do another 3.5 off of here. And this is only going to be a baby quilt. Now that I've started cutting and language and all those things are getting straight in my head, this is only going to be a baby quilt size. So out of all of the 2 color pieces, cut 9 at 3.5 inches. Next, we're going to cut a strip, one of these strips, and this strip gets cut at also 3.5 inches. So we're going to, and we also need 9. Three and a half, 7, 10.5. So you can get 10 of those blocks, I guess, out of 2 strips. So I'm going to line that up again, make sure that it's straight, do a cleanup cut, 3.5 and 7. Remember, as you're cutting, as you're assembling this quilt, every step is as important as the one before it. So cutting is as important as stitching, as important as pressing, as important as choosing the right fabric. We want to support our local quilt shops, And so the best way to do that is to buy your fabric not at a big box shop, but at a local quilt shop if you can. If that's in your budget. It's a little bit more expensive, but boy, the quality, there's just no comparing the quality of fabric that you will get. Okay, so now I have 10 of those. I only need 9, but I have 10. So now you are going to go through, and with each one of those strip sets, you are going to cut each one of the smaller, the 3.5-inch wide strip sets, these ones. Anything like this that's 3.5-inch wide, you're going to cut a 3.5-inch square. So that makes sense. Then when you come to these wider ones, where's one? Where's the wider one? I know I have wider ones here somewhere. Here they are. So these wider ones, so these ones that are large, 1.5, and then the big one strip here. For these, you need to cut 9 also, but they're only 1.5 inches. Okay? So 9 at 1.5 inches. So, clean up. I got 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9, 10.5. And that's where I have to stop with that. And how many did I get? 1, 2. This is not 1.5 inches right here. That one is wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So I got 6 out of that one time. We go through and get this trimmed up to the right size. See, not perfect. Rest assured, all of you. 1.5. Okay, because I went 10.5, didn't I? Instead of 10. Okay. Now, how many did I have of that? I don't remember. But keep on cutting until you get 9 altogether. I'm going to cut a cleanup strip here and just keep cutting until I have all of them from this, and I think it's going to be more than 9. Okay, that's all I can get from there. 1. Oops. See what happens when I try to hurry? And that's going to be impossible. I have to use a regular ruler to find that line. There it is. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's more than 9. So so you want to do the 3-inch strips. You're cutting 3.5-inch squares. You need 9 of each one, each strip set. So you need 9 blocks like this. And then of the other ones, of this right here, you need to have 9 of each of the wide ones. And then of the color A, you need 18. So then I'm going to do the cutting and show you my stacks, and we'll be back in a sec. No, don't record. Stop. Okay, so end of week 3 on cutting. I have these stacks. There are at least 9. I think there's 10 in each stack, but you need 9 of each of these strip sets that were 3.5 inches wide. They are cut into 3.5-inch squares. You need at least 9 of each. You also need you need 9 of those, and 9 of those cut at 1.5 inches. And of your color A, not 18 of these, the one that was with a little bit of color A, and you need 18 of these, the one that was a lot of color A. And that does it for week 3. See you next week where we'll lay it all out.